Familiar Present 327 writes, "Thanks for all your content and the awesome extender. I bought one recently and it's fantastic. Just had one quick question on a video you made. I was having an issue losing suction using a cup, and I found your video recommending layering 2 sleeves on top of each other. I did that, and now I no longer actually lose suction. The problem is, I feel like I don't get as much of a stretch on my penis with 2 sleeves. Like a day ago, 5 pounds felt like a big stretch without the 2 sleeves. With the 2 sleeves, it feels very manageable. Is this something you've dealt with? Is it to be expected?" Yes. What you're feeling is a simple dispersion of force leading to a less concentrated feeling of tension. Lots of guys feel like they have less stress on their glands when they finally nail the water trick, or they get a good taping practice, or doing what you did with your sleeves, leading to getting a really great seal. That often leads to a less intense feeling of stress on the glands, but you shouldn't confuse this with something negative. Our feelings have nothing to do with progress in PE, and so you should largely ignore them, except for pain, of course. They're inconsistent from one session to the next session and from one person to the next person. They're subject to all kinds of variables that you just can't begin to quantify. The safest bet is really just to rely on what you know and what you can measure. So what you know is you didn't decrease the poundage. What you can measure is your bone press stretch flaccid length from week to week. So focus on that number and do what you need to do to increase it from week to week, even if it's only by a millimeter. The notion of training by feel is a dangerous practice that succeeded for some, but has failed for the vast majority of people. It's a concept that's best left to people with vast PE experience, not a framework for novices to follow at all. In all aspects of training, whether it's strength training or PE training, novices simply lack the context to properly estimate what level of stress they need to impart, or what the feel of a correct amount of time or weight is. So I don't doubt that this has worked for some people, but it's not a recipe that's easily replicated, as it relies on so many factors relating to an individual's ability to approximate feelings they simply don't have a context for. Simply put, you don't know what you don't know. And so if you don't know what a proper training session feels like, then the only way to learn that is by trying and failing far more often than succeeding, when the simple alternative is just to simply track the facts. Log your time, tension, and bone press stretch flaccid length. Compare your average bone press stretch flaccid length from one week to the next, and only adjust when growth completely stops for at least 2 weeks. In short, numbers don't lie. Feelings aren't facts. Thanks for tuning in, and guys, make sure to visit massivenovelties.com for all your PE needs.